There's nothing that's going to terrify me since I've worked on sequences with animals, owls, bats, cats, special effects, actors, and hot weather. As a feminist, I believe that romance has somewhat diminished for my generation. I want to write, act, paint, and write some more. The actresses who I believe have the greatest success are those who still appear to be human and are at ease in their own skin. Being outside of the entertainment industry and attending college have made a significant impact since it is a fairly crazy place. I will ascertain what it is. I have a hard time picturing myself doing just one thing, so I'm almost certain that I'll end up doing 4 or 5. I was really fixated on it. He didn't act like a child. I need to fully savor the good times because they help to make the terrible times bearable. I would have spent years doing art if I hadn't done Harry Potter. I would really love to write about that. I have a tendency to be highly mentally active. You get that additional zing as a result. At the age of 10, I worked. I absolutely adored being on stage. I'm really like Mexican filmmakers. I want to do everything. What would cause me to rebel? I have a hard time picturing myself doing just one thing, so I'm almost certain that I'll end up doing 4 or 5. Like a voodoo doll, I feel. My sense of inadequacy almost seems to grow as I do better because I always think, any minute, someone's going to find out I'm a complete phony and that I don't deserve any of what I've achieved. I'm not capable of living up to what others believe about me or what they anticipate from me. Nothing requires an apology from me. When I was very little and I used to sing along to the radio, my grandma used to ask me, "Why do you sing with an American accent?" I suppose it was because American vocalists predominated in a lot of the music I was listening to. They cover one whole wall I have. I'm going to follow my desires. I've always wanted to publish a book. I want to make my own decision about it. Maybe in 10 years I'll be able to appreciate the fact that I don't have to make stupid decisions since I am independent and financially secure. I went from having no acting experience and being completely unknown to appearing in a big budget film and becoming well known. I seldom purchase designer goods. I want to be that person who can claim she likes her body and doesn't want to alter a thing because she feels wonderful in it. I've also done press with every network in nation, and I've conducted interviews with individuals who were dressed as cows. He handled my brother and myself equally, treating us like boys. I wanted to exchange ideas and be with others who are enthusiastic about learning, not simply to get an education. My favorite sport is field hockey, and if I lose a game, I complain in a long, hot bath. In fact, there are times when I can't even see the table. I used to like performing on stage. Going to college in America and sharing a room with a total stranger was probably not a good idea. I don't think of myself as famous. I don't always wear cosmetics, but when I want to, I enjoy shopping for outfits and painting my nails with my friends. I'm a multifaceted person, and that's the freedom of fashion, the ability to recreate who you are by what you wear, how you style your hair, etc. Not a single image appeared. Trying to explain your own style is quite difficult. Renaissance lady is what I aspire to be. I've lived my entire life in a bubble. My primary school pals are still with me. I have traveled all over the world with Harry Potter. If it weren't for the movies, I probably wouldn't have moved to New York at such an early age. I think I've earned the right to make a few mistakes. I want to make my own decision about it. I'm presently frantically attempting to navigate it. Less is more is how I define sexy. I see Rupert Grint and Dan Radcliffe as a couple of loving brothers. My life has been out of my control. Because everything happened so rapidly, I didn't have time to consider my options. I can only go with my gut since I'll never be able to win over everyone. I can't go anyplace on some days for some reason, and I think that was a mistake. But on other days, nobody will even look at me. I also always retain the cards that people send me. I'm still exploring because I'm young. As I strive for excellence, my bossiness is evident. It stinks. As an actress, I like to do parts that fascinate me. People may wonder more the little information you offer. I'm a pretty fussy person. I have no other option. Knowing that someone will be giving you a really good look up and down and evaluating what you were every time you leave the house is extremely distressing. Renaissance lady is what I aspire to be. I've always had much too much freedom, to be honest. I enjoy reading novels that are not only beautiful but also include memories. They don't need any explanation from me. I've paid for my own trip and expenses. I don't want my fear of failing to keep me from pursuing my true passions. By the age of 17 or 18, I moved out on my own. I'm not that mold, though. On this movie, I removed a fragment of the gold from Bellatrix's vault. Nobody but me should be allowed to define who I am. Nobody but me should be allowed to define who I am. Yet, I believe it to be extremely British and focused on uniqueness. Both pre- and modern history are required for a Brown history degree. Contemporary history is my area of interest. I want to do everything. I always give my all. It's just who I am. You can't ask me, what's on the bedside table right now, Emma, since I constantly have many books open at once. Yet learning comes solely through experience. So even if someone were to give you advice, you would still need to go out and make your own errors in order to gain knowledge. I'm going to be authentic. They chose me for the role after finding me. I want to write, act, paint, and write some more. It's crucial, in my opinion, to have more adrenaline. I actually like learning lines. I had a party at Brown for my 20th birthday, and I didn't even have to ask people not to post photos to Facebook. Although I have a few great things, I don't typically have the opportunity to dress to the nines. Picking up a book with memories again may transport you to another location or time, much like playing a music. In a bizarre sense, ignoring fame was my act of defiance. There is absolutely no judgment. My dad may not have truly known how to handle a girl like me. I value having a sense of independence in my life. I have enough money to never need to work again. Let's face it, in retrospect, that was crazy. For the first movie, I stole a chess piece. I also have my wand and cloak with me, and using a restroom in a co-ed dorm with 8 other individuals definitely wasn't a good idea. I've been a little more free to explore new things as I've gotten older, and since I chopped all of my hair off, there were no kid-friendly options, and we had to choose from the adult menu for supper because kids weren't allowed to do so. And from high school are my 2 closest buddies. That is frightening, but that's part of it. I'm not stick thin, and my teeth aren't faultless. I insisted on acting normally and carrying out routine activities. I'll be really happy that I was a part of the Harry Potter movie, even if I live to be 100 years old and am completely bonkers. And I adore Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu and Guillermo del Toro. Although it may sound trite, I also discovered that you can't fall in love with the right person unless you truly accept and enjoy who you are. At times, it's been rather frightening. As a romantic, I naturally wish to find love. For me, acting has never been about the money. It's bleak. I adored singing, the lights, and the rush of excitement. Because I have such a wide range of interests, this is a challenge for me. I just try to spend the majority of my time with individuals that help me feel normal, since it might be challenging to continuously feel strange. Since I was 12 years old, I've had a pretty consistent movie crush on Kevin Costner. I was just made to feel alive. I felt like I had finally discovered a reliable set of pals at that point. I don't want my fear of failing to keep me from pursuing my true passions. When people progress in their careers, you see that they just resemble everyone else more and more. I also wish to master mandolin playing. The concept of a powerful, all-encompassing love that is more significant and unique than anything else is what I believe draws readers to books. I don't want to come out as overly styled, too done, or too generic.